A messy desk makes for messy work, and a messy chart screen makes for messy, panicky decisions. Most beginners fight their charting software every single day, hunting for the same tools, redrawing the same lines, squinting at one cramped chart. Today we fix that. We're going to organize TradingView so it works for you calmly and instantly, the way the pros set it up once, and then simply reuse forever. Let's start with the single biggest time saver, saved layouts. A layout is a complete snapshot of your chart. Every indicator, every drawing, every setting, saved under a name. The key insight is that you do not need just one. You build a few, each tuned for a different job, and switch between them in a single click. Picture having two saved layouts. One called long-term, with your weekly chart, your 200-day moving average, and clean, simple settings for when you are thinking like an investor. And another called day trade, with a 5-minute chart, your VWAP, and your fast indicators for when you are actively trading. One click flips your whole screen between the calm investor view and the fast trader view. No rebuilding ever. Next, stop staring at a single lonely chart. TradingView lets you split your screen into multiple charts at once, too, for even more, all visible together. This is enormously powerful, and the most common use is the multi-timeframe view. You put the same stock on, say, a monthly, a weekly, and a daily chart side by side. Why does that matter so much? Because it cures one of the most common beginner mistakes, getting lost in a single time frame. With 3 charts open, you see the big long-term trend, the medium swing, and the short-term entry, all at the same moment. You never again zoom into a tiny 5-minute chart and forget that the long-term trend is pointing the other way. The whole story in one glance. Now the feature many beginners completely miss, the fundamental view. We have always said technicals and fundamentals are two halves of the same coin, and TradingView lets you see both without ever leaving the chart. There's a Financials tab that pulls up the company's revenue, its earnings, its profit margins, its valuation, right there beside the price action. That means you can spot a beautiful technical setup, and then, in 2 seconds, glance at whether the actual business behind is healthy or rotten, all on one screen. The chart tells you what the crowd is doing. The Financials tab tells you what the company is doing. Having them together stops you from buying a gorgeous chart attached to a failing business. And for those who get serious, there is the separate screen. TradingView lets you pop a chart out into its own window, which you can drag onto a second monitor. Now you can have your main analysis on one screen and a live, dedicated chart on the other, watching a position breathe without it cluttering your main workspace. It is the difference between working on a tiny kitchen table and a full, organized desk. A few smaller touches complete the setup. Watch lists, where you group the stocks you care about, so they're always one click away. Templates, so you can slap your favorite set of indicators onto any new chart instantly. And syncing, so that when you move your crosshair or change the symbol on one chart, the others follow along. Each one shaves away a little friction. So what is the real point of all this organizing? It is not to look fancy. It is that friction is the enemy of good decisions. Every second you waste fumbling for a tool, redrawing a line, or hunting for data is a second your attention is on the software instead of the actual choice in front of you. A clean, pre-built workspace lets you spend all your mental energy on the decision and almost none on the mechanics. But keep our usual honesty firmly in mind. A gorgeous, perfectly organized trading station does not make you a good trader. It is a force multiplier for focus, not a strategy, and plenty of people with 6 monitors lose money beautifully. The setup serves the plan, it never replaces it. Organization sharpens a good process and does absolutely nothing for a bad one. And of course, the ending you can now recite in your sleep. The long-term index investor needs none of this. No layouts, no multi-chart grids, no second monitor. They check in rarely, buy their index fund, and get on with their life because their entire strategy was designed to need no screen at all. This whole episode is a gift for the active trader and a curiosity for everyone else. So clean up that messy screen. Build a couple of save layouts for your different moods. Split into a multi-timeframe view so you never lose the big picture. Keep the fundamental tab one click away and pop a chart onto a second monitor if you are serious. Set it up once and let a calm, organized workspace quietly make you a calmer, clearer decision maker. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep it simple and let a tidy screen lead to a tidy mind.